Yo guys, what is going on? It is Mark here. Welcome back to some more Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Zombies. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about some zombies, and I basically just wanted to get on here and have a little discussion and get some rapport back from you guys just to talk about zombies, because I've been having a shitload of fun this year with zombies, and I've been listening to podcast on it just like while I'm at work. Like I can listen to music all day long, but every now and then you want to freshen it up, so I've been finding different podcasts. And not to get off topic, I have other ones that I listen to other than zombies, but this one has been a thrill to listen to, and it got me thinking. Like, I kind of wanted to go over my top 10 list, and before I even go any further than that, like, I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for mine. Even though everything is all personal, people get very opinionated and very judgmental whenever we talk about top 5, top 10, like greatest zombie maps or greatest anything of all time, but especially like the zombies. Like, it's a lot of heated debates that go on around there. But first off, like, I just want to throw out, like, World War II, the Sledgehammer game. I played the Final Reich, and I've heard that Zombies is so damn good. And that first map that I played was honestly very, very good. And I think if I would have had more time on that game, that map might even be in my top 10. But because I didn't have a lot of experience in that one, I'm not going to put anything from that game on my list. And Vanguard was just ass throughout. Never played Vanguard. I think I didn't even really play multiplayer. I think I was at like Prestige 2 or 3 when I stopped playing Vanguard. But yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there. You guys will see some similarities with my list as we get in depth, and I'll touch on that here in a little bit. But first off, I just wanted to say that the new zombie system, I don't think is as bad as everyone says it is. The way, like, the armor plates and the ammo crates, and like, it's so catered to Warzone or new incomers. I don't really think it's that bad. It is a little repetitive, I do agree with that, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I do enjoy, like, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 era, and Black Ops 4 got a lot of hate back in the day too, but, you know, looking back compared to this, I think people will realize that it's not as bad as it was made out to be during its time. But I do enjoy the new system for Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7, even though it is a little repetitive, like I said. But I'm just throwing that out there before I get into my list, because I think there are things that need to be said. So I'm gonna focus on, like, themes of map, Easter eggs. Like, there's gonna be a reason I put them there. It might be a different reason versus other maps. It's not like all one criteria, just my personal favorites. But for the remakes and OGs, it's going to be the same. Like Call of the Dead or 5 or something. You know how they had, like, multiple different variations of the map? It's basically the same. In my eyes, yes, they're different. Basically the same thing. So, just keep that in mind. And 2, Dead Ops, to me, is such a fun, refreshing experience to zombies. And honestly, it's very addicting. And I struggled because I wanted to put it somewhere on my list, because I have played them all, but I've never beat them because they're so hard. I feel like maybe if I had, like, a full, like, veteran, like, dedicated squad that would get into Dead Ops, and maybe that would be different. But just because it's something that I've enjoyed doing, like, just as a refresher in zombies, I didn't add Dead Ops anywhere on the list. But I wanted to mention it because Dead Ops itself is such a great game mode. But anyways, getting into our list, and right off the bat, a couple honorable mentions. Like I said, the Final Reich map, I had a blast playing it when I was playing World at War. I wish I would have been. I was in college at the time, and I just found out I was going to be dad at that time. So, like, I did not play as much during that year or two than, you know, I have in the past, and well, the future then and before that. But anyways, that map was fun. Just thought I'd mention it. In Black Ops 6, I don't think I think they're probably in my top 20, like maybe lower to the bottom, like 18 or 19. I don't know. I didn't go that far out with my list. Like, I had a group of maps here under my top 10 that I just kind of like squeezed together, that I was just like trying to decide like what were actually like my top 10, and then I moved like the rest of them down. But I have Terminus and Citadel de Moors on there, and honestly, like, I have a lot of good memories on those two maps. I think the game kind of fell off at the end for Black Ops 6, but I mean, that DLC 1 with the 4 swords, and you're able to go high rounds, and the castle theme was just fun. Terminus was a great like map right out the gate for a game. It was open, it was big, the Easter egg was very fun to me, and I played a lot of it with my friends. And you're gonna see something in here too, like there's a lot of times where I had to play zombie solos just because I don't have zombie squads or zombie people like any more than what I used to. Every now and then, like, I have people that get on and play, but it's not like they're not as like invested and like into the Easter eggs, into the story, and into whatever it may be as much as I am. So that does come in effect too. Also, just want to throw this out there. Firebase Z, I'm going to get hate for it, is in my top 20. So I don't know why I like that map. It might be the only Cold War map that I like thoroughly, very much. I like Die Machine too, but Firebase Z to me, like, I think that is honestly when I started watching speedrunners, and that might be why. And now I'm like on the speedrun kick. Like, not myself. I don't think I'm near to that talent level or whatever you want to call it, but I don't know. I believe, I'm pretty sure that is where I started watching speedrunners. So Firebase Z is honestly like somewhere in my top 20 area too. I just wanted to mention that because I want all the shade today too. And if you guys are still watching right now, drop your top 10 below. I want to compare and discuss and all the things. And then one more thing I wanted to mention before we get to the actual, or two more things actually before we get into the top 10. One, Infection with Burger Town on AW. I thought that was so cool to see. AW was not a bad zombies experience. I actually very much enjoyed it. I just had to throw that in there in my top 20-ish too. But now, okay, guys. So we're getting to the list. But I'm going to say top 11 because I wanted to throw this in there. Astrum Alarm. I am in love with this map. I love the space theme. I actually have a whole sleeve on my arm. It fades from top to bottom. It's my top part of my arm is all space themed and cosmos, blah blah blah, and then it like fades into like a forestry waterfall. Like, I have that shit on my arm. Like, I love the space theme, and the boss fight currently is probably one of the hard. I mean, you can argue that Richtofen on the Reckoning was just as hard or harder. Black Ops 6 has some hard boss fights. I'm sure there are others that I can't think of right now, but the boss fight makes it fun to me. It's a challenge for zombies. That's what it's been missing. I love the theme. The Easter egg, I'm torn between like being able to speedrun an Easter egg and like 20-30 minutes versus like a longer Easter egg like older CODs where it takes a little while. I'm kind of torn between like my opinions on that, but I just want to throw Astrum Alarm up there because you'll see here in a little bit. I think some things are going to surprise you guys. But going on into number 10 minutes into the video, we got 5 on my list. Honestly, such a classic map, and I got a lot of good memories from 5. So I started playing zombies actually. I played World at War, but it wasn't like during peak. So I probably like really got into zombies when Black Ops 1 came out, and I had buddies from high school, and instead of running Kino a lot, which I played a fair amount of Kino, we played 5. We'd ride the elevators up and down going high rounds, and I mean, it was so cool to see like JFK and the Pentagon Thief. Like, that to me, it's just some core memories of like my earliest zombies moments, and that'll always hold like a very special place in my heart. So we'll give the number 10 spot to 5, or classify, whatever you want to call it, because the map's still like theme wise it's the same thing to me. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Now, do I wish they would get creative and make some new maps and stop reusing assets? Absolutely, I do. But, you know, if it's a good map, it's a good map. I wish they'd just give it to us in like a DLC or an extra map, like a reloaded thing or something like that. They could do that, but, you know, that's for another time. Anyways, going on to number 9. Already going to get some hate. I feel like 5's a good spot for number 10, but here going on to number 9, we got Zetsu Benoshima. And honestly, I don't understand the hate on this map. This map is not bad. I love the jungle theme, honestly, and it felt really cool. There was so much to do on that map. I remember playing the shit out of this map solo and in pubs, carrying people through the Easter egg. I probably did this Easter egg solo more than any other Easter egg I have ever done. That's how much I loved it. Widow's Wine got introduced here. I do believe it was the first map that got introduced. And, like, the spider boss fight, like, there's just so many iconic things to this map that I, like, really enjoyed. The mini spider boss fight, you could turn into a spider. At that time, like, peak Black Ops 3 time, the storyline was, like, getting everyone so invested. And some people say that that was the greatest time for Call of Duty Zombies. And I agree, Black Ops 3 was probably the height of zombies, but that map takes my number 9 spot. Going on into, and I hope I counted right, 3, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I think I counted right. But going on to number 8, Buried. I mean, I really don't have to say anymore. Some people may give me hate. I mean, I see people go back and forth on this slot. Actually, I see people either really love Buried or they kind of think of it as mid. But being a Western themed map, like, we really haven't gotten anything like that since, and this Buried introduced a lot of cool things. I mean, the Easter egg itself was awesome. Seeing, I can't remember that big guy's name on the map that you give him candy and stuff too, but that was a nice addition because you could do a lot of different things with that. But again, like, the Easter egg on that map was fun. You had the maze and the witch's house. Like, there was just different things going on at that time that made that so enjoyable. And I think just the theme itself just made it so great. Like, the map was just so fitting. So yeah, Buried is number 8. And here we go. I think this is another big one coming up. Number 7. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Revelations. Oh, Revelations. You either love it or you don't, I feel like. And Revelations, to me, is something that I absolutely loved. When this DLC 4 dropped, I thought there was no better way to end a game and DLC cycle. But with this map that had so much nostalgia thrown into it, one of, like, the hardest Easter egg hunts ever. I remember watching that hunt for like 3 freaking days, and it was so entertaining to me because I love watching the hunts, the speed runs. Like, I'm a complete nerd when it comes to this stuff. So, but just jumping into Revelations and you're seeing all these different maps and being able to go into the belly of the beast. And I think this was one of the maps where I had a couple of buddies. We made it to round 63 just goofing off in the belly of the beast with the Apothegon servant, or not the servant, I think that's the sword I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the little, like, Apothegon gun that you shoot. I can't even remember the name. I probably should have done a little bit of research before, but I just wanted to go pure off memory on this list. But this map just, it was so cool to me to see all these different maps mashed into one. And to me, that will always be very cool. And the way they ended Black Ops 3 with it was just, honestly, I think it's a chef's kiss. I think that map is amazing, and I had a hard time putting it outside of my top 5. But coming in at number 6, we have another Black Ops 3 map, and Black Ops 3 is my favorite zombie game of all time, if you can't tell already. Another Black Ops 3 map at number 6 is Horizon Draha, and I love this map for the simple fact that the bows are badass. And other than, what did I say, Zed's bow, where I did the Easter egg a bunch of times, I did a lot of carries for friends that were still playing COD on Horizon Drak, because I love getting the bows, and more importantly, the lightning bow, or the storm bow, whatever it's called. hands down. It's so goated. I did a lot of like solo trying to go for high rounds back then. You know, being me, and I can't remember how old I was at that time when that game came out, but like I was making it the 50s and 60s like consistently, but I could never break it. But to me, that map was so fun. The dragon heads coming out of the wall, the castle theme was just so great, and I don't know. That map, I had a hard time not putting in the top 5 as well, and it gets very hard here for me, but Dryzen honestly, just, again, Chef's Kiss Black Ops 3 did an amazing job between the Easter eggs and themes of the maps. Like, they have a special place in my heart. Now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, going into the top 5, I feel like the next couple are going to surprise some people. Maybe the next 4. I think number 1 may not. But at number 5, we have Moon. And again, like I was speaking on with Ash Malloran being 11 and honorable mention, it's the space theme for me. The space theme is so goddamn cool to me. You're being on the moon and you get to watch some shit blow up when you get done with the Easter egg, and you have the big astronaut following you around. Like, it was so cool. It was so unique. The only thing I didn't like about it was that the perk machines switched whenever you went back to Earth and blah blah blah. But I mean, the Easter egg was so cool, and you see Samantha come out of the goddamn pyramid. Like, Moon's Easter egg and story, and the fact that it's in space, because I'm a nerd like that, just I love that map. I love it a lot just for that one simple fact alone. And yeah, that's got to take number 5. Going on to number 4, Shangri-La. Black Ops 1 also had some great zombies. Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 1 are obviously my 2 favorite zombie games. If they could just give us all the Black Ops zombies maps into like one like zombie game on the side, that'd be so cool. But Shangri-La was so unique at its time. That map was so difficult, and that turned boys into men. It honestly did. I thought watching the Easter egg was so cool at the time too. I think because in Black Ops 1, I was more of a watcher. I didn't start doing Easter eggs until like Black Ops 2 on my own. So in Black Ops 1, I was just kind of like following the story. Like, Easter eggs were a new thing coming from Ascension, but I was watching YouTube videos how to do it, and like the friends that I did play with, we just played for fun back in the day. Nothing wrong with that. But Shangri-La was so cool to me because guess what? It's a jungle theme map. And same with Zetsubo. Like, those 2 maps, like that and space theme maps are like my thing. So I thought that map was so cool. It had the water slide in there, and the traps, and the special zombies with the fire, and watching the Easter egg on YouTube. Like, there's just a lot of good memories that I have with Black Ops 1, being basically my first zombies game, and Shangri-La is something like that I very much enjoyed, just from an early standpoint. And the jungle theme, like, I've always liked it, and it's obviously carried over with me now because I still think Shang is that good of a map, along with Zetsubo, like, being that themed. But moving on into number 3, guys, and this is where you're either with me or you're not. Speaking of themes, we need to give a shout out to IW and Zombies in Spaceland. This map was complete badass, and I really don't have to say anything more than that. But the Easter egg, going from fighting an alien to having an arcade system and just being a completely different experience in Zombies. Zombies in Spaceland, I spent a lot of time playing. I played all the maps, honestly, and I beat all the Easter eggs on that game except like the final devil fight. But like Raven the Red Road, Shaolin Shuffle, like stuff like that, or Attack of the Radioactive Thing, all those maps, like, that game was good for zombies. And you're either with me or not, like I said, but Zombies in Spaceland just was like cherry on top. Like, that was the shit. So Zombies in Spaceland, top 3, space themed, it was cartoony, like, it was just, that map was ahead of its time, and it doesn't get the appreciation it deserves sometimes. But definitely in my top 3, I would love for something like that to be done again, in that aspect. So shout out to IW and shout out to Zombies in Spaceland. Now, 2 more spots are left. And I had a hard time choosing between the two for a couple of different reasons. One of them is more of a, well, they're both cool maps, and they're both very badass. But one of them is more memory and like fondness related compared to the other one, and that is my number 2 spot with Call of the Dead. Having the movie crew and the theme of this map was just so awesome to me. Being winter and snowy, it was different at the time. This is the only map, and this is what I'm saying about the fondness and the memory. So I used to play zombies with my brother. He kind of got away from it, like, I think after this DLC dropped. So this is like the last time like we really played. I mean, he's came back and played every now and then, but that we were really into it. We stayed up all night, or it was either all night or all morning. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure this had dropped at like 11 p.m. back in the day, and we were still in like school as kids. We waited all night for this shit to download so we can play this map. We were that excited for it, and like I said, like back then, watching the Easter eggs, like I thought it was so cool that you were interacting with your 4 quote-unquote playable characters behind a goddamn locked door to help them get out. Like, the story was just so crazy back then, and the way they did this map with George Romero and Call of the Dead was just badass. I mean, I had that special bond with my brother when we played it, like getting that excited, and I remember like that hype feeling playing it, and that will always be near and dear to me. And Call of the Dead, I love that map. I'd go back and play it in a heartbeat. But going on to number 1, the one we've all been waiting for. You notice Origins isn't on this list, and it's going to stay off my list because number 1 is Mob of the Dead. Absolutely, yes sir, Mob of the Dead. I really don't need an explanation for it. But this was like, other than Transit, which we did the Easter egg on that, but Mob of the Dead, I ran this over and over all day, all night. Because I really, during Black Ops 2, I really didn't enjoy the multiplayer, and I'm going to get flack for that, for saying that too, but Mob of the Dead was special. The Easter egg was cool. Going from a 1-on-3 fight with your buddies, or a 3-on-1, whatever side of the cycle you were on, and having the warden there, and just the prison map, dude, and the story behind it with a jailbreak and this and that, like, I don't think that will ever be met. And I'm going to say that, and then Black Ops 7 is going to do something crazy because I'm having a good feeling about this year. But Mob of the Dead story and Easter egg, and I was playing. I had some buddies in high school that this map brought them into Easter eggs. This is the map, and they were like, "Hey, dude, like this shit is so badass. Like, you want to run it?" I was like, "Dude," I already know it. I've been running it. I've been hoping that some of the boys would get into it, and they started getting into Easter eggs because of this map, and like, that opened up some doors like down the road and where we played a little bit more, and they kind of fell off. But when this map is able to bring others in that aren't into Easter eggs and all the things, like, it had just had such an impact. And I mean, Mob of the Dead, yeah, hands down. Well, I say hands down, but Call of the Dead was close second just because that map is fucking cool too. But I mean, Mob of the Dead, number 1 spot. But anyways, guys, I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on my top 10 list. I want to hear yours too, because I am very curious. I love talking about this stuff, and I think I may do something similar in the future with some other things that I'm kind of like thinking about having in the works. But anyways, guys, if you guys have stayed this long, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Drop your list below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.